You ready for this last one?
Let's go.
Disabled customer gaslighting drivers.
Oh,
So obviously gig workers are not operating a charity service. Let's be realistic on that. We understand that everybody's got their challenges, but quite frankly, so have we. So we gotta make sure we're taking profitable orders. And making sure our spaces accordingly are maintained properly. This customer has, I can only bring up 3, but this customer has so many videos on her platform, basically shaming drivers for being selective with their orders. And Uber drivers standing up for themselves and setting boundaries. So I'm going to let her explain herself here.
DoorDash, Uber drivers. Okay, here's the thing. I am blind, okay? I live by myself. I live on my own. Nobody helps me to go and get groceries from a grocery store. Nobody helps me to drive me anywhere, okay? Nobody helps me do shit. I survive on my fucking own, okay? That's what I'm trying to tell you. And I'm trying to get through and survive through life, and my only option is to DoorDash my groceries and is to Uber, and if I want to do something fun, DoorDash a restaurant, okay? You get all these options in life and all these privileges and how you live if you're one of these drivers, okay? And all I'm trying to say is that there are actually people out there that are like me, that are fucking blind, who have no help and are trying. And not everyone's gonna leave you a good ass fucking tip. I know that you work off of tips, okay? But all I'm trying to tell you is to be grateful for what you have. Because all I hear is bitching and complaining from all of you spoiled little brats in the fucking sighted world. That's what I'm hearing, okay? It's annoying. And you don't realize how grateful and how lucky you are. I get that you're working for your family. Be grateful you have that fucking family. I get that you're driving and putting miles on your car. Be grateful you have that fucking car and you have that fucking license. Okay? Be grateful that you have that independence and that freedom to just walk out of your car and go pick it up and get back in and then go and find the place where you're supposed to be delivering it to. Be grateful is all I'm trying to tell people. It's all I'm saying. Maybe someone doesn't leave you the best tip. Yeah, if you don't want it, reject it. If you need the money that bad and you only want to work on good tips, then freaking only do that. But all I'm trying to say, have some compassion for others. Get outside of your freaking box in your head and realize that there's other people living on this planet, and God forbid anything ever happened to your family, any health conditions. God forbid any of your kids to go blind or their grandchildren or any other disability that they possibly could have or get. God forbid any of that, okay? But if it does happen to you, you're going to change your shift and you're like, man, people in the world just are not grateful and they don't have hearts and they're not compassionate. They don't care about just helping one person. Like, that's all I'm trying to say. Like, everybody's so disconnected and so just concerned about their own life. And I understand because we're all just trying to survive and get through. But just realize that as you're trying to survive and get through, there are others in the same boat. And just be grateful. Be fucking grateful.
So, okay, I'm going to say this as someone who's takes a lot of, quote, no-tip orders or find out later they're no-tip, especially for shops. You know, I get it. People are disabled. They have problems. They're elderly. They're on a fixed income. Maybe the services in her city are overrun, but she's also being hypocritical. She is sounding super entitled right there. And, most of the people with disabilities like herself that I've waited on are wonderful people. They're nice and they're so like, I'm sorry, I'm sorry, I'm sorry. I can't get more. And they're trying to give me a baggie of change or something at the end of it. And, I'm very grateful for that because they're actually trying, they're being respectful. But like, she's just like, uh, just pick up my order whenever. But she said it herself. Oh, I get it if you're only choosing orders that are good to you. That's the whole point. It's the whole point. We gotta choose orders that are good for us. Sometimes
It's funny you
the
say
charity
that.
run will be like, well, okay, limit your order, 20 items, $14. I can shop fast. It's going 16 miles, but I'm already going 20. So I'll do 14 of those 20 miles, and that's just stacking for me. You'd be grateful there's people freaking like me who do that crap because a lot of people don't like how I work, but there's people like me, it actually benefits people. So, and like, she's acting entitled there. I'm sorry. You think we're entitled? You're acting entitled, Karen. I'm sorry. Like, I'm sorry you're blind and whatever your problems in life are, but like, you even acknowledged it in the speech you gave. You know why we work and why we're working and what we're doing. We're grateful for a car. Well, I can't do that on a $2 shop order, hon.
Isn't that the truth? And unfortunately, it's not simply the DoorDash drivers that she's going after.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly just like do not have sympathy for people complaining, like when I talk about the Uber drivers and everything, because blind people are unemployed and can't get jobs. So like someone who's able to drive and get out there, and I understand you're trying to pay your bills, so are we. Like, we're just like you. So imagine not being able to work at all. Like, there's so many barriers with employment, and so many people look at blind people as if they are other people. It's another person, but we are just people, just like you, just like me. Like, we are all just people. And so I guess that's why I get so annoyed and I stand up for the blind when it comes to the Uber drivers, the DoorDash, and I complain about, and I'm just like trying to say how they complain about how they just want good tips and blah, blah, blah. And I understand you've got the car payment. Trust me, I hear you. But what I'm trying to tell you is that 90% of blind people can't even work because they can't get a job, and they're living off of disability, which is $1,000 a month on average. Okay? So imagine, I'm just trying to tell people to be grateful for what they have, because imagine living in a world where you can only get $1,000 a month, period, because you can't work other jobs. That's all I'm trying to tell people. And then people come at me all the time, all these Uber drivers, and they're like, "Oh, you're what? And you're entitled much?" They say that crap to me, and it's like, me fucking entitled? Excuse me, bitch. I'm the one like dealing with vision loss and going fucking blind. Are you? No. So shut the front door, Sally. You know what I mean? Like, I speak up for the blind. I advocate for the blind, and then yes, people come back at me because they're not used to the blind sticking up and defending themselves. And I am just bringing awareness and sharing the experience of a blind person, because if I don't do it, who else will? And I've got to do it. It's my obligation. I am obligated to share. And so that's all. Like, literally all you like privileged like brats, I'm sorry. But the people out there who just, you want to complain and bitch about your job, oh, this isn't enough, you have so many opportunities in life to make money. So many opportunities. Imagine not having a single damn fucking opportunity. And I'm just being real, because that's just real life. Some people really don't have any opportunities to work. So being able to have your health and having the opportunity to work is like such an honor, such a privilege in life. Such a privilege. Don't take it for granted, is all I'm trying to tell you. Be grateful for what you have. Count your blessings. Be grateful that you can drive. Be grateful that you have these opportunities to even be able to have these jobs. Be grateful for your health. Be grateful that you don't have barriers that are unimaginable to you, that you don't even want to understand. Be grateful for that. Be grateful.
Victim mentality. That's all I'm hearing. I'm sorry. I just hear it dripping from her. She just continues to acknowledge the things that she's saying that are wrong. She knows. She isn't unaware. I think she probably underutilizes the services available to her. Maybe they're overwhelmed in her city, to be fair. But like, I'm a victim. I'm a victim. I'm a victim. But that's all I'm hearing. So she's just as hypocritical as someone who's whining and crying that they aren't getting post tips on their Uber freaking like their ride share they're accepting. Okay, if you're taking ride share to get where you need to go because the med cab's unavailable, well, schedule it somewhat ahead of time. Make sure you have plenty of time, and then the fare will rise enough to where someone's going to take it and it be profitable for them. And if they don't, well, that's their fault, not yours. And then you could be correct in your own little situation, but you shouldn't be going, that's your problem, not mine. Like, you should still be empathetic to people. Like, I'm not trying to be not empathetic toward her, but like, I've worked with many disabled people and friends with people who have disabilities, like they're deaf. It's like, stop. You're being hypocritical, Karen.
And she keeps digging herself.
I really can't
into the
stand
hole,
her mentality. I hate the victim mentality. And trust me, as someone who suffers from negativity and saying everything's my fault and all that BS, I can't stand it when someone freaking says everything else is a problem but me. And I know I'm my own worst enemy.
Yeah.
So she's saying that kind of BS really upsets me. Yeah, I'm not blind. I'm not deaf. I'm going half deaf. I've lost vision in one of my eyes. But thank God I'm not blind. But there is probably things she could do. Why not be an actual advocate?
So before I even keep going, because there is more, I do want to clarify that from what I've witnessed on her page, apparently she has a condition to where every year she gets like 25% more blind or something. I didn't like read the details or anything like that. That is from what I would tell. I don't know. Like, again, it's a phone screen. Anybody could say what they want on a phone screen. That's why when I see all the comments like, "Oh, how do we know? How do we know? How do we know?" We don't. We don't. There is a lot of like behavioral things to where I can tell you a lot of people who are disabled are like, they don't actually complain all that much, or they do ask for help, but they're not super entitled about it. But regardless, and if you can believe it, and by the way, I had to chop a few out, but
Oh, I can't stand most of you people. You DoorDashers, you Uber driver. Like, I just can't with you. I never said not tip, but I did say, like, your tip isn't as good. I understand people are, like, what they're working for. Honestly, DoorDash and Uber should be paying their customers better. All I'm trying to say is that for some people who are blind, this is not a luxury for them. This is literally how they get their groceries and how they live their life. And driving is a privilege, and being able to have a side gig. I get that you are taking care of your family. Also, having a family is a privilege. Having a car is a privilege. Being able to have any kind of job you want is a privilege. So would you rather be blind? The ones who are bitching and were complaining. I don't care about your bitching, and I don't want, no. I'm gonna be a bitch back to you. So yes, I'm blind, and I'm a blind bitch. So if you piss me off, because I'm so sick and tired of just blind people being walked all over and like no one giving a shit about them. And so if you're someone who's like bitching, who's bitched at me and said all the nasty things that you have said to me, all I want to say to you is, would you rather be blind? I'm just, there's other things to consider that are going on in the world, and that's all I'm trying to say. Okay? Would you rather be blind? Would you? Would you? Okay, does that shift your freaking little tiny head at all?
So let me say this. My sister had a good friend in college. She was like really fully blind. Like she could barely make out shadows at best. And we didn't have a 4-door pickup at the time. We just had a 3-door one. And this girl would get up in and refuse our help and getting in and out of the back seat of that thing. And she was like more independent than most people who are fully able. And this person acts the complete opposite. Stop being a victim. And that's just my opinion. I'm hearing, like Tim said in the comments, me. It don't be a victim, guys. Please don't be a victim. Like if you have something life changing happen, try to change your life about it. Like try to learn more about what you're doing and how you can change it to better yourself and actually utilize the services available to you. I don't wish blindness upon anybody, hell no. But I can tell you from losing vision in one eye, it's not like life changing, but it's like annoying enough to where I need glasses to pass a DOT eye exam. It's annoying as hell.
Yeah.
And like the amount of pain I went through when I got my eye hurt was horrible. I don't wish it upon anyone, but like, don't be entitled. Don't be a Karen. Don't be this person. Okay. People are gonna call me a hater and try to come after me and cancel me like they try to do Camelot. You know, Cody Jennison, for those who don't know, but like, you know, I just can't stand that mentality. I can't stand it. Like people have real problems and she continues to acknowledge why she's wrong, but continue to whine. Just saying.
Exactly.
I'm sorry if I sound like a heartless person because of that, but I'm not. I'm actually one of the biggest heart person to where it broke me.
Yeah, you'll find that most people who had the biggest hearts have had the biggest pain, and they just don't tolerate it at some point. But I wanted to just run through my points on this really quick before I go into the whole comments on this, because a lot of people have been saying a lot of things already. Gig workers are not charity services. We're just not. That's just reality. We are doing this to make money, not to serve you for being entitled. We're in business for ourselves.
Yeah, it used to be people would do a quote charity run or two a day, but there's too many scammers out there. We can't risk it, guys. If it's not profitable, we're not going to take the chance on it.
Exactly. I noticed a lot of narcissistic tendencies. Like she was deflecting a lot, gaslighting, like changing it to all, like changing her story every time. Like she was talking in circles. Oh, would you rather be blind? Be grateful for what you have. So obviously that justifies her shitty behavior. And
No, it
all
doesn't.
explanation. And if you ever check out her videos online, shit, like I don't want to get like, if you ever check out our videos online, you'll see a bunch of drivers being genuinely kind and trying to calmly explain to her everything. She calls it a complaint. That's just who they are. That's the failures they will always be. They're not worth the air they breathe. Why do you waste yours?
So you got some drivers who are explaining it from their end. They're trying to be empathetic and kind, but they're trying to explain how it works from our end. Like, I'm always an advocate for educating your customer, like in a kind manner. Kindness is always free and pays, to kind of get up inside money plans. But it's like, yeah, she's just doing it to justify her poor behavior and actions. I can't not stand people like this. I'm sorry, Joe. It just infuriates me. And I'm about to go to sleep after this, so I'm gonna have a hard time now because I'm pissed.
Yeah. Incredible. She's just an incredibly entitled customer. Her disability has nothing to do with attitude. In fact, as Gigwise pointed out at some point, most people who have those disabilities aren't like that. They're super chill about their disabilities too. Like I remember watching a comedy show with Matt Rife, or no, not a comedy show. It was a TikTok of Matt Rife at a comedy show doing his bits, and he was talking about a person in a wheelchair who was in the audience, and that was kind of the jokes that they were like he was making, and he was making them part of the show. And a lot of people were gonna see that as, oh, he's making fun of a person in a wheelchair. Do you know what that person in a wheelchair said to him at the end of the show? Thank you for including me and making me feel seen.
Yeah. Like, yeah. So, like, just because a comedian might be roasting you and making wheelchair jokes or whatever jokes, it's like, most people who are humble would be like, oh my God, thank you for making me feel included. Most people try to distance themselves from me because they don't want to offend me. And that's how a lot of people feel. I feel that way a lot, like about a lot of different people. And I've waited on people of all kinds of walks in life, fixed income, rich, whatever. And they're extremely grateful that I just treat them like another individual, not
a person.
like, they're not, they're just, they can't stand it when people stereotype them. They just want to be human like the rest of us.
Exactly. They just want to feel like they're a person, not just an inconvenience. And what I have is a choice to not accept no tip, low ball offers. Exactly. She said that too. It doesn't change that she was a shitty person about it. 1-star customer probably left a tip better than 10 cents. Probably never left a tip better than 10 cents on any order. I genuinely believe she'd be the penny customer. I don't know what you're talking about. If she understands all the spew she's giving, she should be paying double or even triple.
I don't think anyone should pay different prices. Just my opinion.
I don't think you should pay a different price. Pay the same amount as anybody else, and just understand why you're doing it. Like,
just be humble about it. But she sounds like, oh my God, they're not accepting my order right away. They're not accepting my ride right away when I need to be there in 5 minutes. It's like, well, okay, if you know you're in a fixed income situation and you have to rely on these services and you can only pay the base rate, well, expect longer waits and be reasonable about it. And she says, once in a great while, I get restaurants. Something tells me she orders restaurant orders more
often than she lets on.
Yeah, because I don't know how many times we've heard stories where people spent their last 40, 50 bucks at McDonald's versus Aldi or Save a Lot, someplace cheap that they could get some decent groceries from for the week,
Yeah. I'm gonna again, I already explained why she has like what she said about it. Why does she have glasses? Why is she is she only blind in one eye? Her attitude, we got into that. Me is all I'm hearing pretty much. Daredevil is blind and he's a superhero. I doesn't mean I want to be blind, but hey, I kind of get it. I'd be a blind ninja. I have a 100% blind friend and she works. Okay, so sounds like it's more of a her problem. It sounds like it's a her bitter about life problem. I know it's funny because the most narcissistic people act like the victim and then point fingers at everybody else. And that's really it. This is a good question. Isn't there food delivery services out there for folks with disabilities like her? Is that a cigarette? Get that shit out of your mouth. Get that shit out of your mouth right now. I don't care what your obviously wrong opinion is. Get that shit out of your mouth. I want that quit by end of day.
Sorry. But anyways, no.
Isn't there
there is. That's what I was trying to get at, Tim, is that it seems like she's underutilizing the services available to her. And like she should be an advocate to get people the help that's available, whether it be through, the government or through charitable organizations, because there's a lot of them even around here. Like we got the Meals on Wheels, the med taxis that are like volunteer based. And it just seems like you just got to make appointments with them and do it ahead of time. And I just feel that she underutilizes that. Maybe they're overwhelmed in her city. I don't know what city she's in, to be fair. But like, it feels like she
You could
doesn't
also-
even try.
Yeah, she could also be, yeah, like you said, you could be that person. You could make YouTube videos about that specifically if you're going to be an advocate for it. Like, you could make TikTok videos about that. Like, I love how people want to make it sound like they don't have, like, oh, they cannot work because no one will hire me. Why don't you be in business for yourself? You have the capacity. You clearly have the drive to get on TikTok and bitch about things. Oh,
It-
you don't want
yeah,
to
are
do
they
that?
not?
That's what I thought.
Yeah, do they not have like a TikTok shop or YouTube or anything that's monetized? Seems like that's something they could monetize themselves for and really benefit their community. It's like instead of just bitching and whining, complaining, why don't you go change the world?
Apparently, it's too much work for her. It seems like. According to her page, she has about 5,153 followers, but she's been getting a lot of traction by rage baiting at drivers.
Yeah, rage bait is very popular to do, and a lot of people like. I get it. Like tip culture, people are burnt out. They're tired of it. They don't want to, they don't want to deal with it anymore, and that's why topics like that are super popular right now. Like, because whether it be your coffee shop, your stand-up burrito place, everyone wants a tip. Everyone, your mechanic, your landlord, for God's sakes. Stevie Wonder, yeah. Just there's people who've done amazing things with their lives and have actually really advocated, like Stevie there. He's actually advocated to like push people beyond their means and like here's the resources available to you, use them. And it just seems like I want help, but I don't want to put the effort in.